go, 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 go. Häkkinen leads away again. Irvine again comes up the left. Damon Hill has made an excellent start and leads. Damon Hill gets ahead of everybody at last source. Schumacher going round the outside.
Oh, and Häkkinen is spun.
Spinning Häkkinen. Schumacher hit Häkkinen. And Herbert has hit Häkkinen. Now, I can't believe they're not going to have to stop the race again.
Safety car's on the track.
Safety car is on the track. They're going to have to line up behind the safety car. That is a good decision, in my opinion. There is the safety car. There will be yellow flags round the course to warn the drivers to slow down. I'm just trying to remember. So how many times, if ever, a Jordan has been right up at the front of a race?
Didn't Fisichella lead at Hockenheim?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. That was the last time.
I have a feeling there was somewhere else that...
But it's a rare occurrence. But the difference this time is that it's driven by a world champion, the world champion of 1994, Damon Hill, who has been longing and yearning and looking for an opportunity like this, to lead in a car that's worthy of his talent, of which he has so much. Well, the Jordan team have been working hard on that car, joined by Mike Gascoigne, and they've got it right.
Look at Alesi up there in fourth place, Murray. He made a storming getaway, didn't he?
Yeah, he does. He loves the wet, Jean Alesi. And the Sauber, which has got a power disadvantage, won't suffer as much as it would have done if it had been dry. So, into the bus stop at the end of the lap.
I'm just looking at a replay on a diamond screen outside the commentary box.
And the race is on, there's the safety car. Damon Hill leads on lap 3 out of 44. Can Michael Schumacher in the Ferrari catch his old rival and get past him? Not if Damon Hill's got anything to do with it. The revived, much improved Jordan has also got a much improved Mugen Honda Japanese engine in it, and it's giving a lot of extra power. Damon's the man to use it there. Ferrari are second and third, and David Coulthard is the fastest man on the track in 15th place. He's catching Esteban Tuero, who is ahead of him. It won't take him long to get past. There's Villeneuve in 5th position. Look for Heinz-Harald Frentzen. It's not Frentzen, it's Alesi. So Villeneuve has got ahead of Jean Alesi. We didn't see it happen. It means that Jacques Villeneuve in the, again, much improved Williams with the Mechachrome engine is now in 4th position. And again comes Damon Hill into lap 4 out of 44, 1/11th distance of the Belgian Grand Prix as Heinz-Harald Frentzen and Villeneuve go through.
Yeah, so Alesi now back down to 6th place with Ralf Schumacher giving him a hard time in the other Jordan for good measure. So Alesi, having made a good start, doesn't appear to have the speed to cope with it.
And in the battle for 4th, and here it is, the battle for 4th is led by Frentzen, then Alesi. Yeah. Villeneuve has slipped back, and that's Schumacher Ralf. I think race order on lap 12 at the moment. Damon Hill is 9 seconds behind Schumacher, 15 ahead of Frentzen. Frentzen is 7 seconds ahead of Alesi. Alesi is 4 seconds ahead of Villeneuve in 5th place. Well, the man to watch at the moment, if we could have a look at him, is Jean Alesi, who is in 4th position behind Frentzen. He's just under 7 seconds behind the Williams Mechachrome, and Alesi in the Sauber Petronas is catching Frentzen. Not very quickly, but he is catching him, and Alesi in the wet is a fearsome driver, very, very capable. There is Frentzen, 3rd place. So that is, there is Alesi, 4th. Now, Alesi has got the cap down another 1/10 of a second, from 6.7 seconds to 6.6 seconds. He's the most experienced driver in Formula One, is Jean Alesi. This is he's coming up to 150 Grand Prix. This is his 148th. Having driven for years for Ferrari, won his only Grand Prix for Ferrari in Canada in most emotional circumstances. Car number 27, which was the great Gilles Villeneuve's number. And then Alesi left Ferrari, went to Benetton, 2 years. Now he's with Sauber. Seems to be very happy there and going well. Now, we're on lap 14, so there's still 30 laps to go. It's roughly 1/3 distance. We haven't had any fuel stops yet. Yes, we've had Ralf Schumacher in. We've had Eddie Irvine in for a new nose cone. Esteban Tuero has been in, and so has David Coulthard, but we haven't had any of the expected tyre and fuel stops. And Frentzen has been in the gravel. Now, Frentzen was in third place. He should be that now. Where is Alesi? That is Alesi. I can't tell you whether he's gone ahead of Frentzen, but I suspect he has.
I think he has, because Frentzen spent 10 seconds extra in the midsection than Alesi, and he was 6.6 behind as Verstappen makes his way back to the pit. So Frentzen, we believe, has dropped back. Yes, yeah, Alesi takes third. We're expecting Frentzen in the pits.
To the pits and Alesi in. Now Alesi is third, Fisichella is sixth, and Damon Hill has rejoined, obviously, with Alesi in the pits, still in second position as Heinz-Harald Frentzen comes in.
Two Jordans in the top three. Ralf Schumacher's moving up now to third place. Villeneuve going off. Frentzen in the gravel trap we saw. I don't know what happened on Alesi's pit stop, but Ralf Schumacher's now moved up into third place.
11th position, and Jacques Villeneuve is out of the race. There are just 11 runners left. Plus, I'm sorry, I missed Esteban Tuero, which makes it 12. And let us not forget that David Coulthard in these appalling conditions. Oh, God! Michael Schumacher hits David Coulthard and is out of the Belgian Grand Prix. Maybe he should have been a bit more circumspect about trying to pass him, but he is out. And Mika Häkkinen, in the nicest possible way, will be delighted. The World Championship situation is now the same as it was when the Belgian Grand Prix started, and Damon Hill is in the lead. Or that is not the case. David is not that sort of a chap. But anyway, whatever. Michael Schumacher is out. David Coulthard is out. Damon Hill, there he is in, leading the Belgian Grand Prix. The track, so safety car still out. Damon Hill leads. Michael Schumacher showing every sign of being prepared to dive past. Alesi is third. Frentzen is fourth. Deniz is fifth. Sorry, fifth.
Yeah,
and those are the runners.
Michael's long out of this race. Ralf Schumacher in the yellow Jordan there, having a nibble at Damon for no good reason, really, because they're still very much under the yellows of the safety cars, you can clearly see.
Well, you can imagine that Eddie Jordan will have been saying, hold positions, and specifically, Ralph, stay where you are. But as you rightly point out, Martin, there is a bit of a legal wrangle going on between Jordan and Ralf Schumacher about whether Schumacher can, as we believe, he wants to. The safety car is off, the race is on. Damon comes out of the bus stop, gives it all the throttle he can afford to. Now, what's Ralf Schumacher going to do? Down from La Source to Eau Rouge, a gigantic ball of spray, and Schumacher is certainly not deferring as they go out of La Source, and Damon runs wide. Schumacher tucks in behind him. Frentzen is right up behind Jean Alesi. Who knows? And who knows what's going to happen here? Because Heinz-Harald Frentzen can see a podium position in the offing if he can get past the Sauber of Alesi. But remember what's happened when Coulthard and Schumacher were in the positions that they were in. It's a very different situation now, though. I mean, I would say they're concerned about Alesi finishing on the podium, because they haven't done that this season. The highest finish that they've had this year was Jean Alesi in 5th position in Argentina, and the Sauber team is well down the pecking order in the World Championship. Now, we've got 3 teams who haven't scored at all: Prost, Stewart and Minardi. But Sauber are equal bottom with arrows at the present moment, equal 7th on 4 World Championship points. And if they can get the 4 World Championship points for Alesi finishing in 3rd place, it would move them into 6th position ahead of Stewart, behind Williams in 4th place.
Yes, if Damon Hill can win this race, I think I bet he'll say it's one of his most satisfying. Of course, all of his other races were won in a Williams that was very dominant, and it was easy for people to say, yeah, but would he win in anything else? And he is going to answer them beautifully with this drive here on a treacherous afternoon.
The round, smiling, bespectacled face there was Peter Sauber himself. The worried eyes of Eddie Jordan on the pit lane. Alesi is right up there with them in third position in the Sauber. There he is. Sauber have not had a podium place this year. Fourth is Frentzen, 7.6 seconds behind Alesi. Deniz is still on the same lap as the leaders. Trulli is sixth a lap down. David Coulthard and Nakano are seventh and eighth, way back, but hoping there'll be some retirement so that they can score points.
Yes, it's pretty much as I thought. Alesi is going to keep the pressure on the two Jordans. I think they're ultimately faster, but they just don't want to have to attack those braking areas and risk locking a wheel or snatching the rear wheels on the downshift. So Alesi, it really is a thorn in their side. And a protege of Eddie Jordan's back in Formula 3000 days, but Eddie Jordan, I'm sure, wishes he'd evaporate right now so that they can bring those two yellow Jordans cruising to the end of this race. But Alesi just won't let them.
It would have been Jean Alesi, but now here he is, coming up the climb to Les Combes.
It was a very slow lap from Damon, the one before. He's moving over whenever he gets a chance to try to get onto the wetter part of the track, as is Ralph. There's sort of suggesting that the tyres are getting plenty warm enough and the cars are squirming around a little bit. And Jean Alesi's been the quickest of the three of them on the last 3 laps. So Alesi applying the pressure.
Now, the tyre war I always talk about. Jordan used Goodyear, Sauber used Goodyear. Frentzen, who is fourth, is in a Williams that uses Goodyear. Deniz is in the Arrows, fifth position, Bridgestone. Trulli is in the Prost, sixth position, Bridgestone.
Yeah, this is interesting. Coulthard was 4 seconds quicker than the leaders on that lap. So quite clearly his Bridgestones are quite happy with these conditions. That means the conditions are changing, and I think these three are struggling with those softer wets, getting a little bit too hot. Thing left.
Lap 40, 4 laps to go after this one. The gap between Alesi and Hill, third and first, is 2.2 seconds. Michael Schumacher driving in his team leader's wheel tracks. These are the only 3 men in the race from the point of view of victory, because Heinz-Harald Frentzen is a long way back in fourth position. There is Coulthard in his wheel tracks. That's out of Rivage into the left-hander on the approach to the massively fast Pouhon corner, 150 miles an hour.
Alesi's slowing. Alesi must have made some kind of mistake, because Alesi's dropped behind Coulthard and had a very bad midsection somewhere. Maybe we'll see a replay, maybe it blocked a wheel or something. But Alesi now falling back and taking the pressure off the two Jordans.
And is it again, for the second year in succession, going to be a cruel denial of a podium place for Jean Alesi, who was in second place to Michael Schumacher for most of the Belgian Grand Prix here at Spa last year? Well, he's still in third place. Coulthard's gone past him, but it hasn't affected the top 3.
I think it'll just be a slight mistake there from Alesi. Ron Dennis already congratulating Eddie. I think that's probably a touch early, but I don't think we're very far away from some.
Past Jarno Trulli there safely, again to lap the Italian, who is in sixth position and has been lapped twice. And Ralf Schumacher's done the same thing, and look at Jean Alesi.
No, it's not Jean Alesi, it's truly his engine's sounding a bit sick, I have to say, when he came past the pits last time round, but truly cruising home to collect that last point at the moment.
Yeah, Alesi is actually 4 seconds behind Ralf Schumacher.
Made a perfect second start. The restart really played into his hands, got onto those, remember he got onto those intermediate tyres. The Jordan team coming to the pit wall, they're really going to enjoy this one. Jordan know how to party at the best of times, and tonight is going to be something absolutely incredible.
Get ready in Britain and Ireland, all round the world, to stand up and cheer as Damon Hill comes home within sight of victory at the Belgian Grand Prix. His 22nd victory into the bus stop. He is yards away from the finish, followed by his teammate Ralf Schumacher. And Damon Hill wins in Belgium. Fantastic! Schumacher second, Alesi third. Wow, what an unbelievable race. And
Hope
Ralf
somebody tells.
Schumacher not looking exactly overwhelmed, unlike his brother when he wins, but what a joy day for Damon. Certainly doesn't look like a man who's finished higher than he's ever finished before. The best he's finished before was third place.
Yes, Alesi there. That's a good run from Jean today, and he knows it, look. But yes, I think Ralph Mayfield, his first win, got away from him there. But I really think Damon had him covered, personally.
Yeah. Eddie did, and so will Britain be after a quite incredible, truly magnificent Belgian Grand Prix, which saw Damon Hill back at the top.